everyone. Welcome to the video lecture series on advanced separation process. Myself, Jaimin Pandya, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So let's start a new chapter number 4, which is a reactive and catalytic distillation. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about concept of reactive and catalytic distillation. In most of chemical plant, one can find reaction followed by the separation. Usually, reaction and separation are performed one by one. First, reaction allowed to react in reactor, then in separator equipment, product mixture is separated from unconverted reactant and from byproduct and inert. It is rarely seen that both reaction and separation combine and carried out simultaneously in one equipment. So, in most of chemical engineering plants, the reactor and separator are mostly used. In a reactor, reaction are occurs and that will be transferred to separator equipment in which separation of product and unreacted reactant or other byproduct or other inert material or catalyst will be separated and again go back to the reactor. So in conventional process, there are two equipment required. One is a reactor and second which is a separator. But if we are going to use reactive distillation, then we have only used one equipment in which the reaction and separation occurs in only one vessel. So let's discuss about what are the various advantages for the if we are going to use one vessel for the reaction and separation. So there are mainly two advantages for carried out reaction and separation in one equipment. Removal of product from reaction mass at reaction condition, increase in equilibrium conversion of reactant or increase in extent of reaction. As per Le Chatelier's principle for reaction in equilibrium, if any change in any process variable like pressure, temperature or composition of reaction mass is made, then reaction or process is moved in such a direction which will be nullify the effect of change in variable. In reactive distillation, change in composition of reaction mass is made by continuously removing the product from the reacting mass. Hence, the neglect the effect of this change and reaction proceed in forward direction and provide more and more product and higher conversion is achieved. So, if we are going to use only one equipment for the reaction and separation, then we can increase equilibrium conversion. Hence, we can increase the production of product. As per Le Chatelier's principle, if let's suppose there will be reaction A plus B gives C. So if we are going to change temperature, pressure of mass of this AB, then or if we are going to change mass of C, also ultimately we are going to change reaction condition. So this reaction tries to nullify the effect of the change. So let's suppose there will be two reactant A and B and it make product C. Now if we are going to continuously removing this product C, which means the reaction try to make more and more product as shown in this image. So there will be, if we are going to add more and more reactant, then it will be try to convert more and more product. So this is how the reaction try to convert reactant into product in more and more way using Le Chatelier's principle. Similarly, if the temperature of reaction change, then reaction try to nullify the effect of the temperature. Here, if we are going to remove the product, which means we are changing mass and concentration of product. So reaction try to convert more and more in product or try to form more and more product. If we are going to change the pressure, then reaction try to nullify the change of the pressure. If we are going to change the temperature, then reaction try to change the nullify the effect of temperature. By using this Le Chatelier principle, we can increase more and more product. So this is one of advantage for reaction and separation occurs in one vessel. If it occurs in one vessel, then we can separate the product and unreacted reactant continuously so that the product form more and more. Second advantage is that separate equipment for separation is not required. Also, separate piping and instrumentation and other auxiliary are not required. So if we are going to use the one vessel, then we can eliminate second vessel in a conventional process. A reactor and separator two vessel are used, where if we are going to use only one vessel, so we can reduce the fixed cost for the reaction and also reduce the piping and other instrumentation cost. So these all are various advantages for carried out reaction and separation in one vessel. Now let's talk about the various technique used for the carried out reaction and separation in one vessel. There are mainly four ways to carry out reaction and separation in one vessel. First is a reactive distillation, where reaction and distillation occurs in a one vessel. Second method is that membrane reactor or membrane reaction, in which reaction and membrane separation occurs in one vessel. Third method is a extractive reaction, in which reaction and liquid-liquid extraction occurs in one vessel. And the fourth method is that reaction with absorption, in which reaction and absorption occurs in one vessel. So in first method, distillation and reaction occurs in one vessel. So we are going to use the distillation column, in which this is a reaction zone where reaction occurs, and after the reaction in a rectification section and stripping section, the product will be separate. So we can get product from the distillate and from the bottom, or can say that residue. So this is how the reactive distillation works. We will discuss about the reactive distillation in detail in this chapter. Then we can also use the membrane reaction or membrane reactor, in which membrane are made of the catalyst. So for example, if we are going to add methane plus water in this reactor, then we can get the CO2 and OH2, pure H2 from the membrane reactor, where CH4 plus H2 is a react with the PD membrane, and due to this reaction CO2 and H2 will be separate. So we can use the membrane reactor for separation of hydrogen, and in which reaction and separation occurs in this membrane reactor, where reaction of methane, H2O and PD membrane occurs here, and separation occurs due to the driving force in membrane reactor. So this is about the how we can achieve reaction and membrane separation in one vessel. Now let's discuss about the extractive reaction, in which reaction and extraction occurs in one vessel. So if we are going to add aqueous mixture and organic mixture in one vessel, so reaction will be occurs, and in same vessel separation will occurs due to the density difference. So we can get two phase, one is organic phase and second is aqueous phase. So from bottom we can remove this aqueous phase, so we can achieve reaction and separation in this same vessel. So this is how we can achieve extractive reaction in one vessel, in which reaction and separation occurs in one vessel, where separation occurs due to the density difference, where in reactive distillation separation occurs due to the temperature difference, and in membrane reactor separation occurs due to the concentration difference, chemical potential difference, or due to the pressure gradient or temperature gradient. So let's discuss about the fourth method, which is the reaction with absorption, in which reaction and absorption occurs in one vessel, in which reaction due to the chemisoption and due to the absorption material. So reactant react with the absorption material and bind with that reactor material, and we can get the separation of the particular component. So this is how the reaction with absorption occurs. In reactive distillation, reaction and distillation both are carried out simultaneously in one equipment. If reactive distillation is carried out in presence of heterogeneous solid catalyst, then it's called catalytic reactive distillation. Let us understand this by the one example. In manufacturing of ethyl acetate, reaction between ethanol and acetic acid and separation of crude ethyl acetate from reaction mass by the distillation was carried out simultaneously in one equipment. Ethanol was used as an extant reactant where overhead vapor from reactive distillation column is trinary azeotrope having composition of 82.16% ethyl acetate, 8.4% ethanol and 9% water by mass. On condensation of heteroazeotrope liquid is converted into two layers. One is a ester rich layer and second which is a ethanol water solution layer. Part of ester rich layer is taken out as a top product and remaining recycled back to the column as a reflux. Sulfuric acid was added in feed as a catalyst, which water and sulfuric acid is continuously taken out as a bottom product. Alcohol water stream is taken out as the intermediate product. The concept of reactive distillation invented in 1920, but after that for the long period of time very little work was done in this direction. Almost after the 50 years, important research work was done in 1971 that applying reactive distillation with heterogeneous catalyst is a far more useful than homogeneous catalyst. Nowadays, this technique being successfully applied to some process like synthesis of methyl triethyl butyl ether, which known as MTBE, and synthesis of ethyl tributyl ether, which known as ETBE, and selectively hydrogenation of butadiene of 3,4 stream and also used for synthesis for ethyl propionate and methyl acetate. If solid catalyst is a use, then same catalyst can also act as the packing material of pack tower. In this case, solid catalyst played double role to enhance the rate of reaction and as well as enhance rate of mass transfer of distillation. This is a special type of reactive distillation which use solid catalyst which known as a catalytic distillation. Even though reactive distillation has a two major advantage over the conventional reactor followed by the distillation. It finds the place only in few process regions. It also has a one major disadvantage. In majority of a process which involve reaction followed by the distillation, optimum condition for the reaction and optimum condition for the distillation are different. Hence, to carry out both simultaneously in one equipment, one has to compromise in reaction step or either in distillation step. In most of case, we are going to compromise with distillation step. In few cases like the process of MTBE, optimum condition for the reaction and same for the distillation are more and less same. Hence, one can apply concept of catalytic distillation in process of MTBE and ETBE. But in many cases, combination of these two is not economical feasible. For example, in manufacturing process of acetic acid by carbonylation of methanol, first reaction is carried out in presence of homogeneous phase catalyst at 50 atmosphere pressure and 180 degrees Celsius temperature with conversion of methanol up to 50%. After the reaction, reactant and promoter and catalyst are separated from the acetic acid by distillation at atmospheric or near atmospheric pressure. Hence, in this case, one cannot apply the concept of reactive distillation because optimum conditions for the reaction and distillation are very much different. Because for the reaction, 50 atmospheric pressure and 180 degrees Celsius temperature are required, but for the separation, 1 atmospheric pressure are required. So we cannot achieve this condition. For reaction, we need 50 atmosphere, and for reaction, we have to go for the 1 atmosphere. So we cannot achieve this drastic change of pressure in only one vessel. So this is one of the disadvantage for the reactive distillation. So this is all about the carried out reaction and separation in one vessel and various advantages and disadvantages of carried out reaction and separation in one vessel. Now let's discuss about the design method for the reactive system. Complex process design of reactive distillation system has received significant attention from many research. A such system involves simultaneously occurrence of distillation and reaction, high non-ideality of mixture in a question and formation of azeotrope. In developing model of reactive distillation system, problem experienced due to the simultaneously chemical and physical equilibrium and type of variable involved in defining the hypothesis of the particular system. General composition variable in a molar unit and extent of reactant are variable that are considered in modeling. In conventional process, first step is reaction step. In this step, reactions are brought into contact with the solid and liquid catalyst at appropriate temperature and pressure. In second step, stream from the reactor is sent to the separation section where the desired product is separated from unconverted reactant, catalyst, byproduct and inert. In most of case, the separation is done by the distillation when concept of reactive distillation is applied to such type of process. So, this is a conventional system or this is a reactive distillation system. Typical process of catalytic distillation. So, in this figure, in middle section, catalytic distillation column, reaction and distillation take place simultaneously, while upper and lower section represent enriching and stripping section of distillation, or they are utilized only for the separation. So this is a basic concept of the reactive distillation. In conventional process, first the reaction occurs and sent to the distillation column where separation occurs. Mostly for separation, we are going to use the distillation. But if we are going to use the reactive distillation, so in this reactive distillation, reaction occurs in this reaction zone and separation occurs in rectification section, this top section which known as the rectification section and this bottom section is known as the stripping section. So separation occurs in this rectification section and stripping section. So this is a basic concept and design methodology for the reactive catalytic distillation design. So in this lecture, discuss about the concept of reactive and catalytic distillation, various advantages of combining reaction and separation in one vessel, then discuss about the various technique to combine reaction and separation in one vessel, and then finally discuss about the design method for reactive distillation system. So this is all about today's lecture. I am completing my lecture here. Thank you.